Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Executive Insights.
The best unedited stream for aspiring and growing entrepreneurs.
I'm the CEO of FaceTime, Gervais Nelson, as well as the founder of FaceTime Foundation.
And I am Marie Rose, CEO of Rosebud Studios and president of Rose Petals to Success. And we have a great guest today, Mr. Bernard, and he's going to explain who he is and what he does.
Hello everyone, I'm E. Bernard Alexander, CEO and founder of Transform and Thrive Solutions, where we meet all of your counseling, coaching, and consulting needs, right? So I'm in that therapeutic space, health and wellness.
Awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, this week I feel like we have 3 long-winded questions. Marie, please tell everyone what they are.
What are the key factors to consider when choosing between starting a business from scratch, buying a franchise, or acquiring an existing business? Question 2, how can a new business owner effectively generate buzz and attract their first 100 customers without a large marketing budget? Who did this?
I know, that's why I said they were long-winded. I said they were long-winded.
Okay, and question 3, what are the signs that it's time to pivot your business model? And how do you execute a pivot successfully? Please remember, everything we are about to say is general advice shared from our actual experience and research. Even though you can apply this to your life, your business, we ask that you reach out to us one-on-one for a consultation so we can apply the advice directly to your business.
With that said, we want you to drop your likes, drop your comments, share, and of course subscribe. It's free, so why not do it? With that said, let's lock in and share some valuable insight. What are the key factors to consider when choosing between starting a business from scratch, buying a franchise, or acquiring an existing business? So I guess, apply it to one or the other as it applies to you.
The first thing that came to mind is like, what do your money look like?
Yes. Yes.
Right? What do your money look like? Because if you ain't in a position to buy your franchise, right? That's off the table. But then also, really considering what it is that you want to do, right? I think, at least for me, that really dictated what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it, right? The type of work that I'm in with the therapeutic space, it was a little different. Whereas though you can buy a private practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can buy their client list and those type of things. So that is an option, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then also the type of my ideal client, although I want to capture other clients, my ideal client, it's not too many people that's specifically targeting them, right? So the option for me was like, okay, let me create something, kind of start this from scratch, and really build something that's organic, right? So
the number one thing to consider when acquiring a business that I would say that I've learned, look into their numbers, check their books. Make sure that company that you're looking to buy, that company you're looking to acquire, doesn't owe back taxes. Make sure they're not in debt. They can run up, a lot of companies run up debt. They can buy, have all this good living. They can be buying lavish things that they really can't afford. In which case they run their company in debt, and in which case they're trying to bail out, and they'll sell you their company for pretty much dirt cheap. But you take on all that debt when you buy that company, and no one really tells you that. So check the books, triple check the books. Make sure you check the numbers and make sure that company is not in debt when you take in that. Or you may want to take the debt if it's a good position for you, but make sure it's not something that's going to set you back too far. So check the books.
With buying a franchise, I know that you have to follow strict guidelines, strict rules. If you are creative, if you are a person that loves to create your own space, they design everything from the pictures on the windows. So being able to understand that if you are a creative that wants the freedom to just create your space, create your brand, you are under a brand.
yeah.
And there are certain guidelines that you have to follow. You don't make those rules. So there's a lot of things that you need to consider going into a franchise. I personally wanted to do a franchise many times, but when I look it up and I'm like, dang, you gotta have what?
Yeah.
You gotta have what?
From the rip.
Yeah, so it's like,
Right off the books, that's wild.
yeah, so, and then taking that backlash too, like say if the company gets a bad rep for something.
Question number 2, this is for our people in the startup phase, just got your EIN, trying to get ahead of the curve.
Shout out.
Yes.
Shout out, congratulations. Question number 2, how can a business owner effectively generate buzz and attract their first 100 customers without a large marketing budget?
So I never had a big budget for marketing.
What's that?
Right? I never had that. So for me, I started with sending my text messages because that's free to people that's in my phone. Then I started posting about it, sharing about it, talking about it, putting flyers every room that I went in. That's how I was able to generate customers by word of mouth, handing out flyers, sending text messages. Like, that's the way. And then Instagram, once you build your followers up on your social media, you send DMs out.
Yeah.
The more people see your logo, the more people see you talking about it. They may not share it. They may see it, but now you need to send them DMs and say, hey, can you share this post? And sometimes you got to tell people what to do. Share this. It's free. Can you share this? Because now their network became your network. So you don't need a budget for that.
When you said their people can become your people, instantly what I thought was volunteer. A lot of times people don't know that. You can volunteer at someone's function, at someone's giveaway, someone's drive. So often you can meet other business owners, you can meet potential customers. A lot of networking happens when you volunteer. So you can go to a volunteer function, network with the people in the room, collaborate with those people, and your market, it's easy marketing at that point because you're automatically out there. So I would say volunteering is a great way, a great form of marketing as well.
Thank you both for your perspective, right? Because something that reminds me is the importance to be intentionally organic.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? That as I'm building this 100 clients, right, I'm really want to build organically. Right, and it sounds like those going to be they're the core, right? They're going to be the core, right? Others may come, others will come, right? But these core, they the ride or dies, they the day ones, right? The ones who like fans of everything, and really going to support, right? And it's crazy because one of the things, like, and I'm still I'm a fairly new business, right? And I'm proud of that fact, right?
For sure.
And so I'm taking all this in, I'm learning, and at the same time, I'm really formulating. Okay, how do I intentionally want to be organic? How do I want to do this?
Yes.
Right. Placing emphasis on that because I don't want just like any and everybody per se, at least for right now, but I want the right bodies, the right people. Really looking to organically develop that first 100.
And that's a job.
It is.
It's about 2 jobs, actually. So, because that's your communication, then that's your marketing, creation. Like, that's 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Not including the business part.
Yeah.
So,
and ain't even the editing.
Yeah. So, and it's like for that, it's you have to be so intentional and stay on top of all of it. Like, forget the balloons that say 11K or 10K because that's not really realistic. I mean, those are people, not everybody, but a lot of times it's the numbers that they focus on. Like, I can say, because you got to remember those people need those numbers to get paid for people to want to advertise with them. So they have a purpose too. Because nobody's checking who's behind those numbers. They want to see, you got 11K, I'm going to pay you $250 to advertise this product. So our business, everybody has a different business and a reason behind things. But if you don't educate yourself, you don't know the difference between someone that's putting up this 11K balloon to say we made 11K followers or somebody that say I made 11K this week.
Right.
And a lot of times the people who make 11K this week are not the ones with 11K followers. So just understanding where you lay in this position of marketing and advertising your business and building your 100 real clients or followers that become clients. I'd rather 100 any day if it's going to be 100 paid.
Yeah, man, you know what?
Not all day.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? And when you just said that, because I'm learning, you know what, instead of me trying to like, okay, how can I get all these right here, right now, right? No, let me be very intentional about my approach. Let me be measured. Let me be patient, right? Let me be wise. Because, just like how you touched on, like there's a difference between a follower and then a supporter, right? And a customer, right? These are different, they all have different roles, but it's like, you know what, let me learn about this business, right? Let me learn the science behind it. Yeah. Let me learn the even use this as a teachable and a learnable moment, right? Because as you was talking, made me think of something that I've been hearing a lot about lately and thinking on is transformational versus transactional, right? And how's my leadership approach? How's my business approach? Do I want to be transformational or transactional, right? Do I just want you and I don't care about you and all money is good money, blah, blah, blah? Or do I want to be transformational? Like, look, you know what? I'm going to build this out organically because I really want to be a person of value. So the product and the service that I give you really has value, and I want to be intentional about it, and I don't want to rush that process.
I had this situation the other day last week where I went to a meeting, and there were a bunch of people in there, and I was saying to my wife, I said, "Yo, it was great people there, but it didn't click. It didn't feel right in my stomach. Like these weren't my people. It was something about it. It was like they weren't bad people. They just weren't the people for me that I'm looking for right now for where I'm trying to go." Yeah. And literally I prayed on it. So that's why it made me think about when you said prayer. I prayed on it. 3 days later, Friday, Saturday, I met Taj. And it clicked, it aligned. Now, had I forced the issue and linked up with these other people, I don't think I would have met him. Yeah. I don't think I ever would have met him, and I see where he and I are going. It was so perfect. The timing of it was so right. So, trust your gut. Yeah. Pray on it. If it don't feel right, let it go. If you force it, it's probably not going to work out right. Pray on it and meet your prayers halfway. Prayers without actions are dead. So make sure you meet your prayers as well. This is for the established business owner looking for the innovative ways to scale their business. Thank you for being the pioneers that you are. Congratulations on your success to this point. Yes. This question is great. What are the signs that it's time to pivot your business model, and how do you execute a pivot successfully?
I feel like you've been pivoting a lot lately.
I've always pivoted. I pivot all the time.
Yeah, see, I felt it. I feel like he's pivoting a lot.
For me, it is customer retention. That is the one number in your metric that will not lie to you. If you're getting customers, we talked about transactional. If you have customers and they're coming as fast as they go, like turning over in a business, but your customers are coming and going, you are doing something wrong in your business. Look at yourself in the mirror, be honest with yourself, break yourself down, and see what can I do better, what can I do different. It's a hard pill to swallow, but you have to break yourself down and see how you can improve and make a pivot, make a pivotal change. When you find that breakdown, pivot, do something different. I do things different all the time because I'm just innovative. I get bored. I just like doing stuff. I like testing stuff. I like science, for those who know me best. I like testing theories. I like testing what should not. I like thinking outside the box. And what you tell me can't be done, I want to try it. Why not? If it can't be done, what is it in that flaw that doesn't allow it to work? So I'll pivot and I'll just go for it. A lot of times I feel like the reason why I pivot so much is because I just haven't worked with the right person yet. So when I try things and I throw things out there, I'll put that in my memory bank. And then when that right person comes along, it's already there. So it may seem like a pivot to some, but that's a premeditated thing that I already have in my back pocket. So when somebody like Bernard comes along, boom, I already got something for you. When Lodge comes along, I got something for you. When Marie comes along, I got something for you. And that's why I'm just so good in collaborative spaces, because I have 50 million things in my back pocket that I'm ready to do in a moment's notice when I hear about your business and how we can work together. Yes, I'm just landscaping, but trust me, I'm so much more. So that's why for me, pivoting is always something that I'm always willing to do, because I want to retain as many of the right customers, return to many of the right clients. I want to grow business networks. I want to grow relationships. So I'm all about growth and attachment and just being with the right people and just taking it beyond what's normal.
So I'm going to say it a little different. So when you talk about pivot, you were talking about collaboration. For me, I am that person that I am not married to any business. And I say that because, yes, I love my businesses, but I've also have walked away from my businesses after years. And I have walked away while they were flourishing.
Mm-hmm.
I walked away from one recently that was established for 4 years during a high time because it wasn't for me anymore.
Right.
And I'm quick to make those decisions that leave people mouth drop. Like, wait, why? Because it wasn't in my heart. I can't sell anything or provide a service that I am not feeling confident in at that time. I'm not in love with at that time. And if I'm not passionate about it at that time, I'm not selling it. And Rosebud is that passion for me. So while Rosebud is that passion, I'm running with that passion because I fought for this passion to come for 5 years. And as I said to so many people over the years, when you get the feeling, you know the feeling. Just like when you meet your loved one, your significant other, it's something that you can't deny. And I thought I felt that feeling as people do when they fall in love and puppy love and all of that. You thought you had it. And then as I found closer and closer and I got closer to what I have now, the feeling got stronger to where I am now, and I'm like, oh, this is it. So pivoting to me is I will pivot when my passion is not there. I will pivot when I feel it dying, even though it may appear to be an up on paperwork to the financial person or whatever. It wasn't up for me. It's not in my heart. How do you know? You feel it. You know. And no matter what people can convince you, you know. This decision, I mentioned for anybody who was around me, I spoke about it for a year. And everybody told me, girl, you lying. And so I didn't ask nobody. At 1 o'clock in the morning, I made the decision. So by the morning, the text message was in people's phones, and I said it's closing.
Wow.
In 7 days. Because I had to just make the decision, and I know what's best for me.
Here's today's bonus question. What's a common myth about entrepreneurship that you believed when you started, but have since learned isn't true?
Oh, I got it.
Go for it.
Because when I go to these high schools, the kids always say, I ask them, what made you want to be an entrepreneur? And they say, I want to be my own boss and I want to have my own time. And so they all believe that you have so much time now that you have control of when you are your own boss. Yeah, you do. However, you got to make up that time. Time is money. So if you don't want to work, you don't necessarily get paid unless you have the systems in place. So understanding that you have to work to get paid, and your 8 hours may now be 24 hours in the beginning, or accumulation of some within that 24 hours. You don't get off and hit the clock at 5 is what I'm saying.
Right.
Unless you have proper systems in place, and that doesn't come until further down the line.
Yes.
Even if you open your own business, you have a franchise, whatever it may be, it's never a time where you can actually shut off until you build that foundation and put your time in. So people thinking that it's instant. I got my LLC, I'm a boss.
Yeah.
No, you earn your CEO stripes.
And you always work for your customers. So
Yes.
while you think you are the boss, you are not.
You are not the boss.
You are
Your
not the boss.
customers are
Your
the boss.
customers are the boss. You are a
Yes.
worker to your customers.
Yep.
You are not the boss of your business. Your customers are, because they write your reviews and everything else. Like you said, your time is not your time.
No.
You thought you didn't want to work 40 hours? Good. You just got promoted. You work 80 hours now.
Yeah.
80.
There have been times where I have passed out sleep with my laptop in my pocket, in my chest. Woke up, maybe looked at a coffee, took a bite of it, and went right back to work. Didn't wash or nothing.
You sleep for real because you took a bite of your coffee.
You nod.
Yeah.
You wake up, you sip that coffee, and you right back at it. When you first start your business from scratch, you are working like none other. 40 hours don't exist. You don't have 40-hour weeks. You have 80. You might get a cat nap, pop up, got an
That's
idea,
so true,
and you're right
though.
back at it.
No, that's
So
really true.
your hours are triple. Money. I just made $100,000. Well, we're at the top. 50 going to taxes.
Yes.
So everybody say, I want to do this and I want to get money. Well, when you have an LLC, when you have an EIN number, when you start that business, just know your money is not your money. Right from the rip, half that's going to taxes. So right up top, have a good accountant, have a good bookkeeping, or you will find yourself in some serious trouble.
There's a couple of things that comes to mind. One, 'cause especially when I first started, like, man, I had like back-to-back contracts. Like, oh man, it's gonna be like this. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like this, smooth selling. You know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, it's just gonna keep going up from here, right? Then like once those contracts was up, it was like, all right, who's next? Where y'all at? Yo, hello, right? So that's one, right? But then also too, man, and I'm gonna date myself right now. I can't help but to think of that old, what was it? Old McDonald's commercial, right? With Calvin, right? I don't know if y'all remember that. With Calvin got a job.
Calvin got a job.
Everybody like, yeah, Calvin got a job.
Calvin the man.
Yeah, what's up? So I say that to say, right, I thought everybody was gonna be like, oh man, you started your own business? Oh man, how can I support you? How can I be there for you? Oh, that's what's up and this and that. I didn't expect to get like, you know, some people was happy. Some people was like, oh yeah, for real? You know, some people just, it was just ghosts, right? Some people just crickets.
That's how
right? And this is all family.
Yeah.
This is all family. How you gonna leave that good government job? You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's a good one. That might be better than the other two, honestly. But when you get that when your family look at you, I feel like the more successful you get, the less support you get. So when you see these business owners with big followings, big support, everybody come, be careful of that on social media. They might not be doing the numbers that you think they are.
No.
The people that you see riding solo, the ones you see lone wolves in it, they probably may be making a little bit more than you think.
Yeah.
And that's because they had to overcome some things, they had to go through some things, and they just kept figuring out a way to just make it happen. Yeah. So the support factor, that's a dope one right there. You would think everybody would see you and be so happy for you. But it seems like the more
you got off the plantation,
the more you accomplish, the better you get at it. It seems like the less support you get in the whole thing. But you have to build your community.
Those panels and stuff that I go to, like, those people, they don't be having social media. They don't be having no followers. They got Instagram because they want to communicate with certain people, but they don't get on it to function. They on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So and that's where the contract's at.
Yeah.
You know, and to speak on what you were saying, the contracts coming and flowing, but you got to remember what did you do when you first got that LLC that made those contracts come in. So when the contracts came in, you was excited. Now you got to go back to day one.
Yeah.
And you got to send all them emails back out again.
Yeah.
To the new people because the contract will flow the same way. Because that's what all of us do. Like if we get all the stuff coming, all the grant money coming in that you applied for months ago, all these opportunities come in, and you go into the events, but now you don't have time to be on your social media like you was. You don't have time to respond to your emails on time. So now the stuff is slowing up. And you're like, what happened? What happened was you ain't had time to sit on that computer because you've been busy. So when you got busy, you either had to put somebody else and delegate in that place because that place still existed. So just remembering when you get an opportunity to elevate, that means it's time for you to delegate.
We want to encourage everybody to drop your comments, drop your likes, feel free to subscribe. You can join us every Sunday with a new episode of Executive Insights. Be sure to subscribe, stay inspired, keep creating.
Thank you. See y'all.